confront China's economic abuses, counter its aggressive, coercive action to push back on China's attack on human rights, intellectual property, and global governance. But we are ready to work with Beijing when it's in America's interest to do so.
美国应当立即停止大规模、无差别、窃听窃密的恶劣行径，停止打着国家安全的幌子打压他国企业的肮脏勾当，还世界一个公道。
The meeting between the leaders of China and the United States is to seek the normalization of relations between the two countries.
Now, through the common efforts of China and the United States, the gate to friendly contacts has finally been opened.
The government of the United States of America acknowledges the Chinese position that there is but one China and Taiwan is part of China.
President Reagan has been an ardent anti-communist and has often denounced your country in the harshest terms. How do you and your colleagues feel having him in your midst?
我认为，一个有远见的政治家都会看到这么一点。现在再按照意识形态来划分国家之间是友好的还是敌对的，已经是过时了。我的感觉是里根总统也认识到这一点。
The relaxing of export controls reflects my determination that China be treated as a friendly, non-allied nation and that the United States be fully prepared to cooperate in your modernization.
For the first time in huge numbers, the ordinary men and women of Beijing, the old and the young, professors and taxi drivers, have joined the student protest, a campaign for China's renewal in an atmosphere of freedom and democracy.
Ordering the following actions: suspension of all government-to-government sales and commercial exports of weapons, suspension of visits between U.S. and Chinese military leaders, sympathetic review of requests by Chinese students in the United States to extend their stay, and the offer of humanitarian and medical assistance through the Red Cross to those injured during the assault, and review of other aspects of our bilateral relationship as events in China continue to unfold.
It's tragic, it's awful, but it's a tragedy, and it was an accident. I send my regrets and my profound condolences to the leaders and the people of China.
我们要求美方做出全面彻底的调查，严惩肇事者，给中国人民一个满意的交代，这样呢才能彻底消除这一事件对中美的严重消极影响。
It's close. I agree. So he's very, very close. Oh yes, he's almost probably 20 feet from our wingtip. So he's inside of our wingtip.
This accident has the potential of undermining our hopes for a fruitful and productive relationship between our two countries. To keep that from happening, our servicemen and women need to come home. Thank you very much.
This issue has been caused not by the Chinese side, but by the American side. The United States should apologize for this incident. We would like to see a speedy settlement of this issue, but the ball is not in our court.
We've made it very clear we don't think an apology is in order.
Last month's anti-satellite test and China's continued fast-paced military buildup are not consistent with China's stated goal of a peaceful rise.
China has officially become the #2 economy in the world. The country overtook Japan after Japanese data confirmed its economy shrank during the last quarter of 2010.
The two sides believe that the expansion of exchanges and cooperation between our militaries contribute to deepening mutual trust between our two countries and to the growth of our overall relationship.
The island building in the South China Sea, they're declaring control of territories that are not rightfully China's.
We have racked up $13 trillion in trade deficits over the last 2 decades. But those days are over. We will no longer tolerate such abuse.
我们不承诺放弃使用武力，保留采取一切必要措施的选项。
We must hold accountable the nation which unleashed this plague onto the world, China.
We'll also discuss our deep concerns with actions by China, including in Xinjiang, Hong Kong, Taiwan, cyber attacks on the United States, economic coercion toward our allies. Each of these actions threaten the rules-based order that maintains global stability. That's why they're not merely internal matters, and why we feel an obligation to raise these issues here today.
When talking about universal values or international public opinion on the part of the United States, we hope the US side will think about whether it feels reassured saying those things. Because the US does not represent the world, it only represents the government of the United States.
This is a great wall, and it had to be built by a great people. I think one of the results of our trip, we hope, may be that the walls that are erected, whether they are physical walls like this, or whether they are other walls of ideology or philosophy, will not divide peoples in the world.